the collapse of pop music, perhaps even pop culture. Discuss the collapse of pop music in the wake of
collapse.
The collapse of it.
What collapse?
There's a collapse. The pop music.
No, why don't people wait? How many times do you have to repeat history for people to stop?
No, you're wrong. It's like vaudeville or rock music.
I'm right.
No, you're not. No, Tony.
I'm always right.
Tony, how about if I turn your microphone down?
It's like
the collapse of, not in terms of they don't make music like they used to, because I'm not bewailing it. I'm saying, but yeah, it may have, now it's become the culture. Now it has become, gobbled up by television and all that. There's not a lot of fun in it. I'm not talking about niche music. I'm not talking about trance and there's groups who put out 12 inches a year in Germany and all of that. So yes, there's stuff to be found, but the general collapse of pop music now, it's no longer. Do
you want me to explain to you, Dan?
Yes, go on.
Okay. This
I've got my finger on
happens. It always happens, and also just before the new culture comes along, everyone bemoans. They always say, "Isn't it awful? Haven't we lost it?" And also, yes, there's all these little niche cultures. That's what it's always like. Just before.
No, I disagree totally.
It's always like that.
No, because it was never part of the overground culture before. Never like it is now. It was never owned by big business and television like it is now. And when the delicious part of
Parker was big business, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, I never took. Yeah, I know. Certainly, but you couldn't on American television. The whole not being shot above the waist. He was willing to sell his boy down the river for that. All I'm talking about
marketing. Do you think, looking back at it, that seems terrible?
I'm aware of these arguments. I'm aware of these. If for instance any of your bands, and I say your bands, or any of the now the fun of all of that, I think, the fun of pop music, like genuinely, was keeping it secret, and because it wasn't reflected anywhere. You can't have a band for half an hour now without Channel 4 or someone saying, they're great, this band, I tell you what, we're going to put them on all the time. They're going to be everywhere.
Yeah, but this is down to the cult of celebrity as well. This growing cult of celebrity where everybody has to be famous and, pushing that.
There are hundreds of young bands out there, all influenced by Mr. Cobain and by other things. And they're all buying this American stuff at the moment, just like before.
I have a 16-year-old son and an 18-year-old daughter who certainly have ahead of the game in all sorts of ways.
And they will be... They're the new culture, so shut up, Dad.
No, it's not about that. It's not about Dad or anything like that. It isn't, because the thing is, I'm not one of those who said, oh, in my day and all of that. I wish, because God knows, everyone tried to kaleidoscope punk rock, and I suspect the Hacienda into one crazy weekend. It wasn't, there was a lot of...
13 years apart.
There was a lot of picking your feet on the edge of the bed saying, what are we going to do tonight now? But all of that are going on. But all I'm saying now, it just doesn't... It seems to be exhausted in the same way that vaudeville became exhausted, in the way that television has become... You wouldn't agree that television has become exhausted?
No, I don't think so. No, I'm not exhausted.
No. Everything back to yourself.
I'm being so insisting. I'm sorry, Daddy. No, listen, I'm sorry. I just hear this. I say something, Daddy. I hear this every time.
Every time what?
Every time. I remember Malcolm McLaren sitting on a bench in his mate's bloody kitchen saying, I shouldn't swear, in LA in 1987 saying...
Malcolm McLaren's not swearing.
It's not going to be... The Kids' Next Revolution will not be music. And I said, well, I think it will. Right, well, it's all over. And guess what? 2 years later, I have the money for he had the Jeff Beck Victoriano album, God bless him. All I'm saying is, everyone says it's just... It's happening again.
Yes, no, it's exciting. Yeah, but you're talking to someone now who has been around that block, who has certainly experienced all that, was at the centre of some of it. But now I'm saying, yes, you can have your... even beyond Slipknot, into the wildest niches of Iowa,
it's not niche. It is.
It is niche.
It is now, and it's going to explode with wonderful bands who are not being... I'll tell you, I'm trying to cite a band at the moment who are better than any of the rubbish out there.
I know it was heading that way.
There's no majors. The majors are talking, but they're all terrified. As usual...
What majors? There are no majors anymore.
There are 4 multinationals left.
That's where I think you're deluding yourself. They're not major. They're not major. All owned now, and they would not take any chances at all.
No, they won't. Which is why it's wonderful. There'll be a whole new raft of independents.
Don't say raft. No. It is an adman's word, a raft.
Raft. Okay, collection of... There'll be several. There are wonderful new bands out there that aren't being signed.
How can you defend Man United like that?
Listen, just you wait. Prophets of Doom.
Well,
your kids are doing it. Your own children are preparing this new thing. It's great.
They're not that interested in it. I mean, they're interested in music, but they're not like... That's what I mean. It's just part of a varied culture. There, it's no part of it. It's part of it. It's like, and I'm not saying this is a new thing, but You think I'm saying...
Okay.
Like, we and Amy had a row the other day, or came close to it, because she was just saying, oh, but the Smiths, fantastic and all, you know. Yes, they were. Yes. But it'd be like me now going on about ELP or Yes, or I could, if you want. But I don't believe...
I've often wondered what went wrong.
No.
You were part of... You were someone in the early 70s. No, not everyone, man.
Everyone.
I didn't listen to any English band between 69 and 76.
Well, it's a thing to say.
No, it was intentional.
It's between which period?
Between 69 and 76.
Well, you're nuts. You're absolutely nuts.
No, I can't...
Wizard,
ELO, Emerson Lake and Palmer, yes.
Fantastic.
No, absolutely.
Emerson Lake and Palmer were better than Sex Pistols.
Oh, God. Listen, I was thinking I was going to...
You got to live in denial.
I was listening on the way in.
All of us
mentioned the Ramones, and the Ramones are better than the Sex Pistols is one of the most violent arguments you can have with a good old American. But to claim that... Which of those pieces of tribe did you say?
You know why? You know why they are? Because you have to live in denial. Believe me, I don't put any store by that. I'm all for sweeping statements. The reason I say Emerson Lake and Palmer are better than the Sex Pistols is not based on music, which none of this is or should be.
No, okay.
I remember going to see them, and I lived in denial of this about 3 times. I've never been so excited in my life. Not seeing the Sex Pistols or anything. I used to sit there. I can't listen to it now. I think... Well, I don't know where I was, but if only something... And Sex Pistols never made me feel like that, and I think you're a liar. If you sit there and say, oh, well, I didn't know what I was doing. I was doing exactly what I should have been doing at 14, and that was listening to a group who made me think, I can't go... And so, and yes, Emerson Lake and Palmer did...
For you.
Yeah.
It was personal.
Yeah. And exactly what it should be. Exactly
all about you.
Which is why the whole... No, which is... Exactly. So, but it's entirely that. So when someone talks about the Smiths and say, you can say, Emerson Lake and Palmer every bit as good as the Sex Pistols, because it's all there, it's all just junk floating around we've used at some